Welcome everybody to another episode of Fair Faithful Podcast. I'm Brandon Frenio. Joined by me is my co-host Christian Dyer. How are you doing,
What
man?
up?
We're
I'm good,
back.
man. Just got done watching a documentary.
Nice. There you go. So we're gonna talk about OTAs today. Deon should be joining us shortly, and we also have a special guest, and it's Sirski. So should be on shortly as well. Um, but let's just go ahead and get into it. It's been 2 weeks since OTA started. Have you checked out any of the clips? Uh, and if you did, what do you think so far? Start off with Trey Lance. I mean, what do you think about his mechanics so far?
Yeah, I think he's done really well. I think he's definitely getting the hang of making his mechanics better. It's definitely
Mhm.
something that takes a lot of time because you kind of have to relearn how to do some things. And he seems like he's getting it. And I think he's just going to get better with it as time goes on. Um, I really like the kid. I'm excited. I think he's going to be a winner. And everything we've heard so far seems really good. I mean, he seemed to be striking up a friendship and getting along really well with Steve Young, which is kind of cool. Um,
Right.
and this is the first quarterback we've had that Steve Young has done that with, so that's kind of interesting to see. Um, I think I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised when the season starts. Um, you know, it's going to be a tough season, and we might lose some games because he is a young quarterback. But I still
Mm-hmm.
think we're going to be pleasantly surprised. Um, I'm really excited. Like seeing some of the rookies during OTAs was pretty exciting. Like Gray, he's gonna be pretty exciting, man. Like
Yeah, I'm
the
excited to
the
see that,
freaking
man.
the vets getting exciting going up against them and stuff, and like talking about how fast he is and stuff is pretty. It's exciting. Um, I think going as where we kind of weren't all that happy with the draft at first. Um, I think the draft's going to end up turning out pretty well. And I honestly wouldn't be surprised if our first pick, which was the second round guy out of USC, um, ends up being a dog,
Mhm.
because when you think about it too, like when you look at like Hufanga and how like he's already getting so much better than his rookie season, um, so I would say when it comes to these USC guys, they're falling in the draft a lot the last couple of years because
Mhm.
USC's been an absolute mess. They've been terrible at developing their talent. They're getting 4 and 5 star guys and not developing them because they've just been a shit show for the last couple of years there. So like you're getting guys like Hufanga and then it's Jackson, right? The guy
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
Jackson. And
Alex.
they were big 5 4 5 star recruits coming out of high school, and they kind of underwhelmed at USC. Um, and then they get in the NFL and get that uh, development that they should have got in college, and you're seeing the progress where these guys are going to end up being steals in the draft because of it. So I kind of see that a lot with these USC guys. So I'm excited. I think Hufanga is going to take a big leap this year, and then Jackson might actually complement Bosa pretty well. So I'm
Mhm.
pretty excited to see that. And to answer 49ers throwback, I think we all knew Alex Mack was going to retire. Um,
Yeah.
with the older offensive lineman, we seem to kind of have that happen. So it was just better to expect it, but it made sense. He definitely took a step back last season and struggled at times.
Mhm.
And you know how kind of offensive linemen work. Once they start to lose that edge they used to have, they kind of realize it's time to leave. So it made sense that Mac retired.
Sirski,
What's
what's
up,
going
Will?
on, my guy?
What's up, man? How y'all doing?
Good.
Good,
Good.
bro.
It's been a while, man.
Yeah, I know, man. I've been
um,
busy, man.
I had to get you on today after the news we heard this morning.
Oh yeah, it's a great day today. It's a great day for this organization.
Did you light up a cigar for that one?
I will this weekend. Trust me.
Yeah, so Let's hear your thoughts, man. I mean, now that we know for sure that Jimmy is completely gone, how excited are you?
Man, I've been waiting on this for a long time. You know, wish that Kyle would just come out and say it, but
They pretty much did. You know
yeah,
how
pretty much did.
everything this team does is they say it without saying it. That's kind of how they always have been.
Yep. So if this ain't a good confirmation, then I don't know what it is. But it's a great day for this organization, man. They don't want him around in the facility, and that's good for Trey. Trey don't need no distractions. Trey need to go ahead and continue to be a leader and get this show on the road.
Yep. Sirski, so we're just talking about the past 2 weeks of OTAs and everything, and talk about how Trey's been looking. What are your thoughts on how Trey's been looking so far, and do you think he's worked on better on his throwing accuracy, his mechanics, like all that shebang?
Besides the national media trolls and all the trolls on Twitter that doesn't know football at all, Trey Lance look. I seen a difference. I seen a difference with his throwing motion, the way the ball is coming out. What else? Him getting the offense down. We all know that. So, and he's just being consistent. I mean, from the organization, they're saying consistent, positive things about Trey. As you heard, D'Amico Ryan say that he out there, slicing up the defense, and zipping it through the defense, making it hard for him. So that's a good sign, because our defense is one of the best in the league. And with Trey doing that, man, that's just a sure sign that he's progressing. So I'm excited, man. Nothing but good news.
Yes, sir. 49ers Throwback said that you liked a tweet about Trey Lance talking to Steve Young.
Yeah, that was huge. That's huge.
Yes, definitely.
That's huge, man.
I mean,
pointers from the GOAT.
He's probably a bigger, heftier, thicker guy, but he's probably a lot similar player to Steve Young, where he can run the ball, but he's also going to stand in the pocket and deliver it. I definitely like the part where Steve Young just talked about how he has the arm strength and everything and can see the field. It's just really how his brain being able to, to react in a fast way and put the ball where it needs to go when he does see it. I think it's pretty cool that, hear that from one of the greats. And then it's something that Steve Young's probably talking to Trey about because they're, becoming they're becoming friends and whatnot and having these discussions. Yeah. I think it's pretty cool to have one of the 49er greats taking you under his wing and trying to help you get better, because Steve hasn't done that for anybody else. So I think it's a good sign, because if Steve didn't like the kid, he wouldn't be doing it. So he must see something in him that gets him excited.
Yeah. So Bryant said that he doesn't want Jimmy G anymore. I don't believe his door is closed in SF. I think Trey starts, but I don't think the Niners cut or release Jimmy G. The Niners don't want to take a zero on him. What's your guys' take on that?
I mean, that's a possibility, but I just don't see that happening. I mean, you got to look at the Deshaun Watson situation. Baker Mayfield and the Browns, their relationship is broken. So if Deshaun Watson is out for the season, it's a possibility Jimmy could go there. There's a possibility that Jimmy could go to Carolina. I mean, Matt Rule is going to make it to break a year. I mean, you're going to go with Matt Corral. I mean, you want to do that, or you want to go with Sam Darnold, who's sent out, said in the media that he see ghosts on the field. I mean, you want to take a chance on that, and this is your make it or break a year. I mean, you might as well want to acquire a guy who's been to 2 NFC Championship games and the Super Bowl appearance, right? So those two options are still there. So I mean, it's a possibility he could still be on the team, but I really don't see that happening. I think they're going to cut that rope pretty soon, especially if the doors is closed on Cleveland and Carolina, because you do not want to keep that man in there in the facility with Trey, with a locker room. That is a disturbance, and you do not want that on that guy's shoulder right now. So
yeah, it's like, I think what they they said a lot by excusing Jimmy from minicamp. They're pretty much telling the team that it's Trey's team. They're also saying we don't want Jimmy around to cause any kind of issues in the locker room. This is them saying like Trey's our guy and then we're moving forward with Trey. Like we know they want to trade him. They obviously want to trade him because you don't want to get nothing for a guy that took you to an NFC Championship and a Super Bowl. Well, I shouldn't say was part of the team that went there because he obviously was not even near the biggest part of that. But yeah. I think they will cut him if it comes to it because you have to remember they need that space because as soon as they cut him, that's when the talks for Debo's contract come up. They won't say it out loud. But I wouldn't be surprised when Debo was all upset. As soon as they told Debo, as soon as Jimmy's gone, you'll get your money. I think that's what I bet you they told him that behind closed doors, and things have calmed down since. And Debo knows he's going to get his money and knows he's going to get the money he wants, but won't get it until Jimmy's gone. Like we have to clear the space by getting rid of Jimmy, and then Debo gets his money. So if they can't trade him, does it suck? Yeah. Do they have to freaking bite the bullet and cut him? Yeah, they're going to cut him. Yeah, Bosa's going to be expensive too, but by cutting Jimmy and then what we get for next year, Bosa's going to get his
money
too. We're going to get Debo and Bosa paid.
Mm-hmm. So, with mandatory camp starting tomorrow now because they moved it up a week, I believe. Mm-hmm. We're going to see Debo there, but you think he's going to do any type of like training or see him on the field at all, or is he just going to be there just to like probably just do workouts or whatever so he doesn't get fined?
I would lean more on the side not to get fined. And I'm not even saying this because Debo is being itself, being any kind of way. Like I don't look down on him for it. I think he's probably going to get paid before the season starts, and he's probably also trying not to get hurt before the season. If he gets hurt during minicamp or training camp before he gets paid, it's kind of hard to get paid if you get hurt. So you kind of have to give him the benefit of the doubt that he will probably be there, but he probably won't participate much. And I don't have an issue with that because if he's still obviously waiting to get paid, and he's not going to put himself in that situation to not get paid. So, it would make sense for him to show up and not do anything because, if I were him, that's what I would do because you get injured and then you lose all that money.
Yeah. Sirski, want to piggyback off of that?
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with everything you said, man. I think he's just gonna, probably just work out or something. I don't think he's gonna get involved in any team activities because you don't want to get hurt. So, hopefully he's there. He'll probably do his little workouts or whatever. Just play waiting game, I guess, and just see what happens. I'm ready for him to time, man, so he can go out there and gain that chemistry with Trey.
The rumors are going to start as soon as Jimmy's gone. Like whether or not we get a Debo contract right away, there's going to be rumors and Rappaport and stuff's going to be, tweeting his little I'm hearing this. Yeah. Pat McAfee's probably going to get the scoop first because he's like constantly on the Debo train on his show. So we'll probably hear as soon as Jimmy's gone, we'll probably start hearing rumors about Debo this and Debo that. It just as soon as he's gone, the train will be in motion and things will kind of just take shit from there. Debo's going to get paid before the season starts.
Yeah, Bryant says Debo will be signed by August.
Probably.
Yep.
I think so.
I'd like to have him signed. I'd like to have him signed by the end of the month, so he is part of training camp, working with Trey. So then we normally pay guys July, August. So
yeah, I agree. Foreigners Throwback says coaches and GMs don't want Jimmy. Jimmy don't want to be a backup. Well, it's true. Especially with that kind of money.
Jimmy's gonna be freaking jobless here pretty soon. So
also
he did that to himself with that shoulder surgery. So he fucking karma's a bitch, and he's gonna end up nowhere because of that shoulder surgery. He'd have been a Colt if his dumb ass didn't get the surgery.
And no one not thinking about how Jimmy feels. Jimmy feels like he don't want to be there. feel like he don't want to be out. Well, look, y'all got rid of me. I don't want to be back. You know, the agent probably same thing. Look, they don't want you, man. Like,
they don't want him. Like, there's no bringing him back. Like, when you excuse him from minicamp, you're not bringing him back. Like, that's like, hey, don't even come here. Like, we're not trying to put anything in our young quarterback's head. Like, you're gone. Don't even be anywhere near the facility.
Yeah. Well, and then we also just saw too that the Panthers don't even want to take on his money either. So I thought that was pretty interesting as well. You know.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're going to end up having to cut him, and then somebody will sign him. He might go to Seattle, and honestly,
he might.
Other than the front office of the Niners that don't want him to go, I don't fucking care if he goes to Seattle. It's not like he's going to beat us.
Yeah.
No.
So, yeah, I mean, it's going to take time too, especially to get his motion back and everything like that after his surgery. So, I mean, I don't know. Maybe there's a chance where he won't even be the same as he was when he was with us the past couple of years. He might be worse. Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that he was like great, but I mean he was decent. You know,
Trey going to beat him out.
Yeah, of course.
I mean,
so let me. I want to say, freaking 49ers throwback said Zach Wilson and Mac Jones are better than Jimmy. Well, Zach Wilson is just Jimmy with a stronger arm, and Mac Jones is just Jimmy with who's smarter and can make better decisions. Not much of a separation there.
Yeah.
Like literally, Zach Wilson is Jimmy with a much stronger arm. That's it.
Yeah.
And Mac's just way smarter.
Yeah. So he also said, in my opinion, Jimmy is done. He can't practice, stay healthy, never improve, and other quarterbacks coming out of college are going to be better than Jimmy. Jimmy is just there for the money.
Probably. I mean, he's a good enough quarterback he's the definition of a system quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He flourished in Kyle's system in what was around him, but when we needed him most at the end of the Super Bowl, he didn't deliver.
Right?
Is it Kyle's fault for making him have to be in that situation? Yes, because he should have just ran the ball at the end of the fourth quarter anyway. Mm-hmm. But Jimmy's he's a definition of a system guy. So if you don't have the right system, he's not going to succeed.
Agreed.
But not all teams see that. Not all media people see that. They'll just be like, "Oh, well, Jimmy was in the NFC Championship. Jimmy was in the Super Bowl." Well, let's just ignore all the other shit about him and just like, because he was this, that means he's going to be great. No, that's not the case, because Nick Foles won the Super Bowl, and is he a starter in the NFL since then? No. And he beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he's not a starter. He's a backup for the Colts.
Bryant said, guys, if Jimmy G goes to Seattle, the Niners will lose. The Seahawks have beat the Niners 30-17 overall, and the record isn't only Russell Wilson. Since Seattle came to the NFC West, it's been ugly.
No way.
Dude, we've sucked since they came to the NFC West.
Yeah.
There's only a couple years where we've even been good. So that's kind of an outlier too. Like, you can't really base it off past time because we've sucked so many times. Mm-hmm. And then when we were somewhat good, they were also good. It's kind of I don't really see how past records and people think they correlate so much, because I think they're irrelevant.
Yeah. Fernandez Throwback said, respectfully disagree, Christian, is because defenses figured him out and other coaches aren't as genius as Kyle. So of course you can't win with Jimmy. I mean, he got worse.
I wouldn't say they figured him out. There's not much to figure out. His job is to hit the open passes that are wide open, that are schemed open for him, and not turn the ball over. There's no figuring him out. It's just him not sucking. Because Kyle schemed everything for him. Like, it's different, like when you say like teams figured out Kaepernick, because Kaepernick's whole game was like he would run the ball a shit ton and then pass sometimes, because his running ability would make it so the passes were there for him. and it took the defensive coordinator some time, but they started to figure out the pistol offense and the RPO offense to where now they don't work as good as they did, but the pistol offense was created for Kaepernick in college, and then when we put it in our offense, nobody knew how to stop it yet, and he was unstoppable for that little bit of while, and teams figured that out. Those are like two different things. Jimmy was just in a system that was schemed open, and then Kaepernick was a part of a freaking offense that was created for him that he dominated in college and then dominated it in the NFL until the NFL incorporated that college offense where the defenses figured it out. That's what happens. College freaking creates something. It comes to the NFL. It works for a while, and then it doesn't work anymore. Remember when the Dolphins brought in the Wildcat and they freaking punched the Patriots right in the mouth with it? It didn't last for very long.
Yeah. Brian also said it is something to think about. Seattle is usually 2 losses a year on the Niners schedule. If Jimmy is with Pete, he will beat us twice. I don't think so.
Just get out of here with that negativity. Seriously. Jesus Christ.
I mean,
their defense is their
Jimmy,
best player is a linebacker playing safety. So
Pete Carroll, if you're going to be in a Pete Carroll system, you're going to have to throw all over the field. Because DK, you're going to have DK and Ronnie Lockett to go deep. That's what they're known for. Jimmy Garoppolo cannot throw deep or outside the numbers at all. He would never execute Pete Carroll's offense.
Preach, brother.
I mean, that's common sense here.
Yeah. And he asked, what do you guys think of the wobble pass? Are we talking about
wobble pass?
Jimmy G's wobble pass, or are we talking about Trey Lance?
You talk about Trey Lance. What about Jimmy Garoppolo's hospital balls? Overthrows on wide open receivers, throwing a ball in the dirt on screen passes. Come on, man.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and also to Bryant Colps, it's negative to say we're going to lose this year because we lost to him last year. Like that, they don't correlate. Every year is different.
Yeah, I agree. I want to bring up now that Alex Mack is retired. I'm kind of scared about our O-line to protect Trey. Who do we see in the center, guys? Or who do you want to see?
Who? I wouldn't be surprised if it was that guy that we one of those guys there was an undrafted free agent maybe. I don't know. I don't know so much. I'd have to still see some more of the guys, but I think they're going to figure it out. I mean, it's going to be a makeshift line, but I think we'll be able to figure it out, and Kyle will scheme around it to where it won't won't completely kill us.
I would say Drake Brindle.
Drake Brindle?
Yeah, Drake Brindle. Drake Brindle played pretty well in the preseason last season. So, for now, throwback said Donovan West. That's another guy.
Yeah.
Donovan West to me is a steal. You know, he may possibly he could work out in that position. You know, so J.C. Treader, I heard J.C. Treader hasn't played football in 2 years, so I don't know about that. I'm bringing him in. If he hasn't played for 2 years, we should make that.
Who did that guy play for when he last played? I don't even.
Play for Washington or Cleveland? One of those. I think it was.
I don't think we're bringing anybody else in. I think they're going to go with who we got. I think we drafted. I think we drafted well offensive lineman wise, and I think they're going to figure it out.
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
That's a good thing about offensive linemen. It doesn't really always matter where you draft them. Some of them are still going to be good if they're 6th, 7th round picks. It just depends. So, I mean, I don't really like Brunskill in there. He's obviously a liability always. Is Big Mike coming back to be, he had a pretty serious injury. Is he going to be back to start the season?
Mm-hmm.
Do we know if he's going to be back?
Well, I mean, we seen a clip of him running one time, a couple of months ago. He was running.
Did you ask him, Brendan? You talked to him on Friday.
Oh yeah, I was going to bring that up real quick.
Yeah, did you ask him if he's healthy and he's gonna play or what?
I didn't ask him, but he looks fine, man. Honestly,
Does he
I'm
look?
sure.
Does he look big and like? Does he look pretty thick? Not so skinny.
No, it looks kind. I mean, he weighs 300 pounds right now.
That's pretty. I mean, that's good.
Yeah. So this guy is freaking, dude. I seen
a
him in
monster.
person. He's a freaking monster, dude. He could barely fit in that damn plane.
I mean,
So
that's the thing is, I want to see a fully healthy Mike McGlinchey who's at the right weight and kind of see,
yeah.
and kind of see how it goes. And then I really like Moore on the offensive line. I think he's just wherever he plays, he's a badass. So,
Mhm.
so I think Brunskill's the one I worry about the most, and then I do wonder who's gonna play left guard next to Trent. So so I'm wondering kind of who's going to play next to him, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the rookies or one of the even undrafted free agent rookies. I'm pretty sure this with mini camp and then with training camp and then some of the preseason games, I think it's going to be a makeshift and they're going to try different combinations and see who works out the best.
So do you think we'll see McGlinchey back at right tackle again, and then probably like Aaron Banks maybe left guard?
He could be left guard, but I'd like to see him with right guard next to McGlinchey.
Yeah, I would like that too.
Two Notre Dame guys next to each other. I like that. I think there could be some comfort in that for the two of them. Could probably feel good about it. I think there could be a connection there. So I'd like to see that, and then I'd like to see. But if you could put Jalen Moore at left guard, I know he's more of a tackle, but I would. He just seems like a guy that could playing next to Williams could be a pretty good guard. So like if you do it that way, then that kind of we just got to find the center. So, and I feel like if that's how it was, like I have a feeling they're not going to demote Brunskill, but they should because he's poop.
Yeah, I'm really surprised on how much support Brunskill's getting in 49ers Twitter. Because he only did good in certain games, right? And then most of the season he looked like shit. He kept getting run over and shit, right?
Like I wouldn't expect our line to be any worse than it was last year. Maybe some improvements. I mean, obviously the only problem is with Lagan Tomlinson not being there. That's the only scary part to see what happens there. But I don't see any reason that our offensive line will be any worse than it was last year, and maybe it can get better. But I'm also not so worried because we have a quarterback who can probably get the ball out fast, also extend plays a lot more often than Jimmy ever could. So even if he doesn't get as much time in the pocket, he's going to be able to extend plays. The problem last year was with Jimmy, if the pocket collapses at all, then it's friggin' a sack or a turnover or whatever it might be. There's going to be I feel like a lot less of that just because Trey's in there. So I think we might be, overthinking the offensive line and maybe worrying about it too much, and it might not be as much of a Achilles heel as we think it's going to be.
Yeah, I agree. So I wanted to point out too, Chris Forster the other day made a comment on Aaron Banks and said his conditioning, his strength have improved. He has the ability to maintain, to play faster, to play harder because he's in better shape. So those are some positive notes from the coach. So, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, especially from Aaron Banks. I'm hoping he's going to be starting on the line.
I think I'm sure there were reasons why he didn't play. I mean, they'll never tell us, but that doesn't mean that he wasn't capable too.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't always mean he wasn't capable, but I think he'll get in there, and I think the full season to work on some stuff. I'm sure he'll be better.
Mhm.
So we'll kind of have to wait and see. I'm kind of excited to see how the O-line looks this year.
Yeah. So 49ers throwback actually brought up a really good point. The receiver position is going to be a battle between.
I wouldn't say a battle. I would just say we're going to have one of the best receiving cores in the league this year, hands down.
Yeah, I agree.
I think each guy is going to fit in the role correctly because I wouldn't say so much a battle because obviously, your 1-2 are going to be Debo and Ayuk.
Mhm.
Two different skill sets. I think they're both going to excel. I think freaking Ayuk's going to have a breakout season this year.
Oh yeah.
And then I also think our third down guy, our red zone guy, is still going to be Jennings because that man is a freaking badass and he can just catch everything and get open.
Mhm.
And then our deep threat guy is going. That's what we drafted him for. Is going to be Gray.
Great. Yeah.
We didn't draft Gray to be the number 3. We drafted him to go downfield, take the top off the defense.
Mhm. I agree. And then with Trey's arm, like with his deep balls too, it's gonna be freaking magic, man.
Yeah, dude. That's what I'm saying. Like, I like the way this receiver core is set up. I like that Kyle finally got his deep threat guy, which he's been trying to find since he freaking became the coach. I
Mhm.
think he found it with Gray.
And
Ray's going to be the return guy.
yeah, I was just gonna say that Ray he mostly got signed for special teams, honestly. So he'll either be out there with the kick return or punt return, depending
Kyle,
on.
we all know how Kyle is, and
Yeah.
Kyle's not stupid. He has to know that Ray's can be a liability on the field at times because he fumbles the ball a lot. He doesn't catch the ball well all the time. So he's gonna be he's gonna be, he's definitely gonna be our special teams guy because we struggled in that, and that's what he was brought in to make, so we don't we don't suck so bad at that. So that's what he was brought in for. We'll probably see him out there on offense at times, but I think he was brought in for special teams.
Yeah, I agree. Just real fast, since it's been a while since we've been on, so I'm just trying to catch up with everything, and especially with what I retweeted. So Matt Miyoko the other day tweeted out that in Josh Allen's second NFL season, he completed 58.8% through for over 3,000 yards, 20 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, and 16 starts. He rushed for 510 yards and 9 touchdowns. Are those numbers Josh Allen in his second season, his second NFL season? You think those numbers will be similar to what Trey Lance could pull off this season?
It's hard. It's really hard to say because Josh played his rookie season. Lance
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I think Lance would have if he didn't get that finger injury. Now that they've come out and said it, I think Kyle was going to go to Lance a lot sooner, but with that finger injury, he didn't.
Yeah.
If he never gets that finger injury or any of the injuries, he might have been starting a lot sooner.
Yeah.
And then to 49ers throwback, Ray. I think Ray can be a slot guy, but like he did have a lot of fumble issues and have a lot of drops. So he is fast, but I definitely worry that part of it is I worry about his problem holding onto the ball. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle wants to use him for some special stuff. I mean, he's got all kinds of weapons on this offense that he's going to use. So I know Ray is going to be used. I just don't think he's going to be in there all the time. I think he's going to be the special teams guy.
Yeah, agreed. Now let's go to the opposite side of the ball. Let's talk. Charvarius Ward has been looking good in OTA so far. I mean, what are your thoughts so far? I mean, I know it's just camp and everything, but I mean, it's still something to see, like on how good he looks. You know what I mean? So, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are we're going to actually get a chance to see D'Amico Ryans fully unlock the full potential of his defense. I think his natural style of defense is lockdown island type corners, man coverage corners that can be there by himself and shut down their guy. He wasn't able to do that last year and still had this defense looking pretty good with having just atrocious play at corner. I freaking Ward's a fucking he's a dog, man. He's gonna be able to sit there on his island and shut him down. And that's exactly what Ambry Thomas is gonna do on the other side, I think too. I think, having Thomas learn from Ward too, I think both of them are gonna be good complements of each other. And then having Mosley as the third corner, who can play inside and outside. And then having Lenore too. I'm pretty excited. This defense is going to be pretty fucking good. I think the pass rush is going to be better because the way that D'Amico Ryans is going to call this defense now, that he has corners he can trust.
Yeah,
I think this defense is going to look even better than it did last year.
Don't forget
D'Amico Ryans is going to be the top
yeah.
coaching candidate after this season. All right, go ahead.
Don't forget about Jason Verrett too, because they just re-signed him as well.
Oh shit, yeah. So dude, we're golden on this.
Yeah.
Back there this year.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, man.
Tart still hasn't gotten brought back, and I wouldn't be surprised if we re-sign him after Jimmy's gone too with more money, and they bring him back.
Yeah.
Just more depth.
Yeah. Sirski, go ahead.
No, I said with the Tar situation, I mean, I don't know. I think they're gonna let Funga Moore and Odom battle that out. I think they moved on from Tar. They would have signed him back, by now
already.
But,
You think so? Okay.
I think those three guys are gonna battle out for that spot.
Yeah.
But everything that Lefty said, man, like we got Javarius Ward who's peaking at his time right now. So he was, he was he was balling in Kansas City. And we got him at the right time where he's reaching that peak where he's gonna, be an all-time, wide receiver stopper in his defense. Ambry Thomas, Verrett, who won't be a captain, anything like that. He won't hurt the captain like that. So that's a good pickup. Get him back, and E-Man. So I'm really interested how D'Amico's gonna scheme these guys on the secondary, like on certain downs and stuff like that. So it's gonna be awesome, man. With those guys back there, with Jimmy Ward, man, that D line gonna eat, man. That D line gonna have time to get to that quarterback because Javarius Ward and Verrett, who can play man, Ambry Thomas, I think he's there. He's getting there to where he can just be a straight lockdown. That D line gonna eat, man. They're gonna benefit off of each other this season. That's gonna be fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. To answer Fernand's throwback, D Ford is basically gone, man. They put that to sleep like a couple weeks ago. So he's basically gone. So no more D Ford, which is nice because he's just wasting a spot on the roster, man. He never played.
If he could have got healthy, that would have been.
Would have been great, nice. Right?
Yeah. He just. I don't blame him. It's not his fault,
Yeah.
Health is you can't control your health.
Exactly. Bryant said they moved on from Tart, but the good thing is no one else has signed him. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. I know he doesn't get a lot of interceptions, but he's still a pretty good, good player. So.
Yeah.
But you never know. We might sign him. We're gonna end up needing more help maybe on special teams because we still need some gunners. So who knows? Maybe they'll keep him on the team.
Yep.
He's gonna have to take he's not gonna get a lot of money because still nobody signed him. But we'll see. I'm sure he'll end up going somewhere.
Yeah. Sirski, I wanted to get your thoughts on Travarius Ward so far, and because I already got from Christian, so I wanted to get your thoughts on what you've seen so far in OTAs and everything.
Well, man, Javarius Ward, man, I think he's a great pickup because, like I said, he's peaking at the right time over there in Kansas City. The man said he loves to play man. I think D'Amico Ryan this season is this season is going to turn the secondary into a more of a man. They're still gonna play zone, but more of a man, more man this season. And we got the right guys to do it now. Because if Verrett, say for instance, Verrett is the starter week 1, and you have him and Mosley on the side, or Ambry Thomas, either one. Those guys can play man. So just by looking at them acquiring Travarius Moore is just telling us that they're going to play a more man system in their defense. So I think Travarius Ward, he has the skill set, he has the body to fit the scheme, and I think he was 6'1", 6'2", something like that. He's great at the line of scrimmage or jamming receivers up, and he sticks to guys. So it's going to be I think that was a great pickup. He was.
I think we're going to see a lot more interceptions this year on this defense.
Yeah,
a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. And then also too is, I think they re-signed Drake Greenlaw, correct? It's been so long since we've been on, so I'm trying to
I think I don't think so. I don't, either him or Aziz have been signed yet. I can't remember.
I think they re-signed Greenlaw.
Maybe they did.
Let me see. Hold on.
We're kind of we're kind of rich at the linebacker position right now. So
yeah, we are
three great linebackers.
You know what? 49ers throwback. Good question. Your thoughts on Ty Davis Price?
I don't have any because I don't even remember who he is. Is he the running back?
Is he the
running back from LSU? I don't even remember, dude.
Bro, it's been so long. I'm trying to I've been so busy with doing the Warrior podcast too. On top of that, I just keep forgetting.
Yeah, you've been slacking on your gift baskets to freaking
I know.
Uncle Adam. You've been slacking, bro.
Okay. Yes, he's the running back.
Okay, yeah. I don't know, dude. I think.
Okay.
Kyle drafted him for a reason, but I'm gonna have to watch him in preseason. Then I'll have more of an opinion. I'll watch him during the preseason and go from there.
Let me ask you this. We'll have to see never mind. It won't matter anyways because you basically just made the point. So I was gonna say, of the running backs that we have, who do you think is gonna be on the squad to make the 53?
Well, I think obviously
besides the ones we already know,
and then Mitchell, and then I think Sermon. I think there'll be 3, and then it'll probably be 4. It'll probably be Wilson. They'll probably keep 4 because Kyle's obviously worried because we have so many damn injuries at that position. So we're trying to keep it stocked. But obviously this it's going to be by rotation anyways. I think we'll see a lot of Mitchell, but I also think we're going to get more of a rotation this season so none of our guys get beat up too much because Kyle's offense is based off the run. The run is the most important part of our offense. And we don't have, we need to keep our guys healthy. So I think there's going to be a lot of rotation. Like the year that we went to the Super Bowl was just constant rotation. And then we went with a hot hand during the playoffs, which was Mostert. But I think it's going to be constant rotation. And then we're just kind of get to see what works. I don't think Trey Sermon's on the bubble. I think he's going to actually do pretty well this season with Trey Lance. I think he's going to help Trey Lance a lot.
I think he might be
in this offense.
I think he might be running back too. To be honest,
I still maintain the whole reason they drafted him was because we drafted Lance.
Yeah, I agree. I'm still. We're gonna
run RPOs and stuff with Lance, and if you're gonna run an RPO, Sermon should be in there over the other guys. Sermon, that's what Sermon did all of college and was pretty fucking good at it.
Yeah.
Just go watch him with Kyler Murray, how good the two of them were together. Before he went and did really well with Fields at Ohio State. He's going to help Lance. I think that's why we drafted him, and there was no point to have him play with Jimmy because he does not fit Jimmy's skill set.
Mm-hmm.
You got to remember, Kyle drafts running backs for certain skill sets for certain situations. That's how Kyle views his running backs. Each situation, each play is meant for a certain running back, for a certain way he's gonna call the offense at the time. So we're gonna get a chance to see more Sermon, and it's gonna work.
Yeah. Yeah.
We just didn't see him very much, so people just, because there's nothing else better to do, they create situations and make something out that it's not. He wasn't in the doghouse. He wasn't into that. His skill set did nothing with Jimmy at quarterback. He didn't get put in the doghouse.
Sirski, let's get your thoughts on Trey Sermon.
He didn't get put in the dog. Hold on, he didn't get put in the doghouse, and he probably stopped following him because he was fucking pissed because he was not getting to play, which anybody would be pissed. But it had nothing to do with being in the doghouse. It had to do with he's the type of running back he is not going to do shit with Jimmy. Jimmy's not running no fucking RPO.
Yeah.
Like, so, Sermon runs through the middle off RPOs.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but that's my opinion.
Go ahead, Sirski.
Trey Sermon, man. I mean, I think Trey Sermon was for Trey. I think that's why Trey Sermon you didn't see a lot of him last season. I think Kyle just, saving him for Trey. But I do think Trey Sermon gonna be. We'll see, because Trey Sermon and TD Price, it's gonna be. I don't know if they're gonna be like competing for that second spot behind Mitchell, or Kyle is just gonna just have those guys on the roster and just put them out there to whatever play fits them to where he can run. Because everybody said, well,
rotation.
Rotation, because 49ers got TD Price, meaning that Trey Sermon is in trouble or something like that. That was going around when the draft came, and everybody said, "Oh, why the 49ers got TD Price?" Oh, maybe because Trey Sermon ain't doing that good. That's not true. I think Kyle, with Anthony Lynn coming in with the team, I think Kyle Shanahan's he's gonna implement a more of a power run scheme, like inside. We already know we're not for the outside zone run scheme, but I think Kyle wants to do both. He want to attack outside and inside. So with the addition of TD Price at LSU, with him and Sermon back there, I think Kyle want to implement more of a inside power run scheme. And also that pickup was also letting Debo know that, hey man, you don't have to be in the backfield. You can just run your routes and let Trey hit you, man. So
yeah.
I think want to beef this up and he just want to pound. He want to pound and bruise the defensive lineman.
Couldn't agree more. I've been saying this since last season.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more, man.
Yeah, I agree too. I've been with Christian on this since last season as well. So
exactly.
And
then when I'm right and it fucking happens, I won't rub it in. I'll just be excited that Sermon is the freaking dog.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to go back to the defense real fast, and I want to get your thoughts on Drake Jackson, and how he's looked in rookie camp and OTAs and everything. So what are your guys' thoughts? We'll go with you first, Sirski.
Drake Jackson, I like him, man. I think he's in good hands with the shirt. We always hear about USC players; they're always being mismanaged. Field. So, but I think Drake Jackson is in the right hands with the shirt. He's in good hands. Drake Jackson has speed. He has that bend that I love. And when you look at him, man, you kind of see a little bit of Alden Smith in there a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's good. So if Krasur can mold him up to be that guy, to be the running, both, with Bosa, man, it's over with.
You guys heard how? Did you guys hear how he was supposed to be at USC when he went there, and all the hype that he apparently had? And he didn't live up to the hype, but he was supposed to be this just fucking monster.
Mm-hmm.
If he went to like my alma mater where we freaking develop guys better than anybody, he would have been best defensive. He might have been the best defensive pass rusher in the league if he went to Utah. But USC's been so terrible at developing their talent. It's just they're taking 5-star guys and sending them to the NFL as 2-star guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so these guys they come in raw, and then they are still 5-star guys. They come in raw to the NFL and then get the right coach, and then they just take off. Look at all these USC receivers.
Yeah.
They come in and they're just killing it off pure talent, and then they get into the league and they're pretty damn good. When they actually get the right coaching, like watch Drake London's going to be a fucking monster this year.
Yeah, I agree. We're gonna be wrapping it up here soon, real fast, but let's switch it over to Frank Gore and him retiring the other day as a 49er, signing a 1-day contract. What are your guys' thoughts on Frank Gore, and what's your favorite moment when he was playing with the 49ers?
Man, my favorite moment was that game versus Seattle. I think it was a regular season game when he broke that long run to put a field position to kick that field goal.
He broke 2.
Yeah, broke 2. He sure did broke 2 of them. Yeah, and he sealed us that win. I think that was when Kaepernick was with us. He broke that. He broke those 2. He broke 2 out the gate. For us to win that game, man, because that was an intense game. Because back then, every game we played against Seattle in the 49ers, with Harbaugh, it was always a dog fight. So that game was most exciting for me, man, because I was on the edge of my seat. I did not want to lose that game to Seattle.
Yeah.
But Frank Gore hit that run. I think it was about 40, 50 yards. It was like a 50-yard game, a 40, 50-yard game to put us in position to kick the field goal to win. So it was that Seattle game. I think that was back in 2000 and. I want to say that game was back in 2000. Was it 14? Was it 2014? That game? I think it was 2014.
So many years, man.
I think so.
It's hard to remember everything.
Yeah. But I know it was in the Harbaugh era. But yeah, it was that, man.
Yeah.
Just seeing Frank Gore, sign his 1-day contract and retire with the team that he holds dear to his heart. That was good, man. I'm glad he came back, and I'm glad that the news broke out that he signed. So he could retire as a 49er because, that's what made him, man. It was this, it was this team. So,
Yep.
It was great.
Christian, what's your favorite?
For me, it's really hard to pick a favorite and remember everything. My favorite is any time I'd see him go freaking run into a pile, and all of a sudden you see his tiny little fucking tree trunk legs fucking come out of the pile out of nowhere, because he's such a small guy, and then you see him go in there, and you're like, oh shit. Fucking 2-yard loss, and all of a sudden he's running for 50 yards down the field, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? It's hard to pick a favorite Frank Gore moment, but anytime he was doing that shit where how many times did he have a fucking Houdini play over the years? And you're just like, what the fuck? Where the fuck did he come from? And especially when we sucked, and you're jumping up and down because we fucking take the lead late in the game because Frank Gore said, fuck this, we're winning. Anytime he did that is my favorite thing for Frank Gore. I mean, it's impossible not to love the guy. I remember when we didn't re-sign him and let him go and just acted like he was nothing, and I was fucking pissed because I thought we did him dirty and thought he deserved way more than that for all he's done for this team.
But what year was that? Was that
awesome freaking guy?
Was that during the Chip Kelly year?
I just know that when we let him go, I was fucking pissed in the way it happened. Like he deserved that. He deserved, in my opinion, he deserved to retire a Niner and only ever be a Niner.
Yeah,
that's
I agree.
In my opinion. He's when you think of the 49ers, you think of Frank Gore. At least in our era.
For sure.
Like when I was a little kid, I remember Garrison Hurst, but most of my childhood,
me too,
growing up was with Frank Gore, and he's one of my all-time favorite 49ers, and he's awesome. I 100% agree with retiring the 21. He's He's something else. And then those playoff runs we had, every time he touched the ball, it was electric.
Yeah.
Every time.
So, AHM Tar, if I'm saying that right. Speaking of Frank Gore, should the 49ers retire number 21? I think so.
100%.
100%. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
So didn't he have like a breakout run against the Saints in the playoffs as well?
He was doing everything, dude. He was running the
Yeah.
ball, catching the ball out of the backfield like a
Yeah.
fucking badass.
I still remember that one.
That was the freaking
That was the
what
back
do they
and
call
forth
it?
one.
The bounty. That was Bounty Gate. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
They had the bounty on Gore. He still fucking lit him up.
Oh, did.
Yep. And then, yeah, as Brian said, only 12 jerseys have been retired.
Yeah, he's 21 should be retired,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Honestly, I thought,
if you ask me, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah. And then he said, I think Steve Young's number 8 should be retired first.
I mean, it pretty much is. Nobody's used it since he left.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
That is true.
Hey, that is true. Ain't nobody
Even if they don't officially do it, they don't let anybody else wear it. I mean, has anybody else worn 21 since Frank left?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Nope.
I think the team knows when there's certain players are gone, you don't give them that number. Nobody's worn 8 since Young left. Nobody's worn 21, I think, since Frank left. So I wouldn't be surprised, that it eventually gets retired.
Jerry Rice number been retired, right?
Yeah, his was retired. I think T.O.'s retired. I think T.O.'s was retired too.
Well, Sheffield had 81 last year.
Yeah.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah. So was Trent Taylor.
Yep.
I forgot. T.O. should be fucking retired because literally the Niners had the 2 fucking greatest receivers in the history of the fucking league on their team and drafted both of them.
Yeah.
So
agreed.
Because fucking it's Rice and then fucking Owens.
Yeah. I agree. But let's see. So a couple hours ago from Jennifer Lee Chen, Talanoa Hufanga has been noticeably louder and more confident on the field heading into his second NFL season. So that's good to hear.
Good.
That's really good to hear.
Good.
So we missed Deon tonight. We got miscommunicated the time on when we're starting. So he's on another show right now. But when we come back again, hopefully it's not this long again, and we'll try to make another episode happen in the next couple weeks here, as mini camp goes on and training camp goes on. But I think that's gonna do it for us right now. If you guys haven't yet already, please hit that like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. We're trying to get to at least 500, and if we do, we'll do a giveaway from one of our merchandise. If you haven't yet already, go over to our YouTube, or not my YouTube channel, freaking Twitter at FFPod49. If you haven't hit that follow button yet, hit that follow button. We really appreciate it. Instagram spelled all the way out, Forever Faithful Podcast. We're always updating our Instagram 24/7, so keep an eye out on that. We're also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Forever Faithful Podcast as well. And we're also on Facebook too, facebook.com/FFPod49. But I think that's going to do it for us, guys. We'll get together soon again and put together another show and go from there. So until next time, guys, go Niners.
Go Niners.